Bulldogs in all purple have taken the field, and here come the Hornets from South Gibson in their black home uniforms, the black helmets with a Hornet on both sides. The black jerseys trimmed in orange, white numerals, black pants. Milan in the traditional purple helmets, purple jerseys, white numerals, purple pants with a white stripe down both legs. So here we go. Some middle school championship football in South Gibson. Middle school has dominated this championship game in recent years, except last year when Mickey Marley's Trenton Middle School team went unbeaten and won the championship due. So here they're right back once again. The New York Yankees of middle school football, the South Gibson Hornets.
Yeah, and Milan's really going to have to play well. Talk to some of the South Gibson folks in the regular season. This was a very one-sided affair for the Hornets. We'll see if tonight's any different.
Milan won the toss. They elect to receive. Let's go down on the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Be a lot of fun. You know, we cover teams on Friday nights. We cover Milan, we cover South Gibson, and what do those programs have in common? They're successful, and where it starts, guys, is right here in this middle school. These varsity coaches get in here, work with these middle school coaches, get systems put in place. That's how you sustain success.
Seems to be a little more size this year, doesn't it, than it did last year.
Grant Goodman, the kicker, an 8th grader. A.J. Brown, an 8th grader, back deep here. Short ground ball going to be fielded at the 30 to the 35 along the far hash and tackled at the 37 on the return from Milan is Kaysen Yates. So Milan sets up shop, first down and 10. Now these are 8-minute quarters. You want to go fast. If you're accustomed to a high school game or a college game or NFL, 8-minute quarters for middle school.
And I believe they do not kick extra points, right, Reeves? They go for 2 on all of them.
I think so. You know, narrator, I've always been for why not start kicking in 8th grade?
Absolutely.
You can kick an extra point, right?
Oh, yeah. I think you mirror high school rules as much as you can.
You with that, Bew?
Absolutely with it.
So Milan with 3 wide receivers. They set up a wide receiver screen here on the near side. Got some room, broke a tackle from the 36 out across the 40 and diving to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a gain of right at 5 yards to the big wide receiver. On that screen, used a couple of blocks, found some yards, and picks up 5 on first down for the Bulldogs. On that reception was Carmelo Jones, an 8th grader.
I wonder whose folks a fan or folks a fan of.
Oh, let's
I haven't seen that yet. That's my first Carmelo on this level.
Yeah. 2nd and 5, Milan at the old 41. On the ground with room to midfield, into Hornet territory at the 40. Inside the 35 before they drag him down on the carry for Milan. And found a big opening as Gabe Scott is viewed that time just right over, looked like right guard, just slipped through there and had to run him down, or he'd have been in the end zone.
Yeah, just an A-gap quarterback draw. At first, I thought he'd fumble the football. The C's parted, and if it wasn't for Heath Howe running him down, it'd have been 6.
So Gabe Jones, the QB, sneaky. Or was that Braden Lewis? To the air they go. They sniff that one out, going to lose yardage. That was Gabe Scott, pardon me, not Gabe Jones, the quarterback. Let's go down on the sideline of Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, the South Gibson looked like they had seen the film on that because they saw it the first play, second play from scrimmage, kind of recognized it in there. They just blew that one up.
It was a great play by Heath Howe. Heath's a linebacker, also plays quarterback for South Gibson. Coached by Heath Moore. Assisted by Barry Bray and our very own Stephen Rich. Lane Collins is the principal at Medina Middle School. Loss was 5 yards. It's 2nd and 15. 6 minutes remaining first quarter here in the middle school championship game. Milan and Medina will make that South Gibson. 2nd and 15. They sweep it here on the near side. 40. And they tripped him up inside the 35. He'll fall to the 32. And boy, just got a shoelace because that big old running back was picking up some steam there. Carmelo Jones, 8th grader, picked up 7.
Well, Danny, Carmelo Jones has the size of a varsity back already. There's no doubt. Toss sweep to the wide side. The edge was set pretty well. He just found a seam, slipped through it, and as I mentioned, Jones has a big stride. He's a powerful kid. I look for him to be absolutely the focal point of this entire offensive attack.
And one of our old friends is coaching Milan Middle School.
That's right.
Coach Willis.
Yeah, Edgar Willis. Christian Coleman, the former Bulldog, one of his assistants.
Yeah. Easy to spot Christian over there.
Yep.
3rd and 8. On the ground, quarterback keeper again over left guard. Inside the 30 and tackled at the 29. You'll have 4 yards. That'll be about 4 yards shy of that first down mark. Let's go down on the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, a young guy playing quarterback, Gabe Scott, number 27. You can tell he's got a pretty good command of what's going on down here. He's looking over to Coach Willis, getting his signal in, coming back, getting his team set. He's a good-looking kid.
4.5 minutes remaining, first quarter. 4th and 4, Milan at the South Gibson 29. Scott going to pitch it right side. They got him pinned in. They're going to throw it. Incomplete. Oh, boy, I tell you, they had a man behind the secondary. D. Kelly had slipped behind the secondary. It was a pitch to Irvin McCurry. McCurry had his attention focused on the defense, because of the penetration. Had he had a little bit of time, that could have gone for 6, but the speed of the South Gibson defense would allow it.
No doubt, but I'll tell you one thing. If that was the intended play, they disguised that well. That looked like a toss sweep and a decision to throw it to the end because it was 4th down.
Now that was a design play, blown up by that penetration. We got some whistles here before the play starts for South Gibson, the starters tonight. Running back Winter Crenshaw. QB is Heath Howell. Nick Jones also going to play running back. Fullback Jonathan Reed. Tight end is Cody Smith. Luke Gordon will play some running back tonight. Along that offensive line is Gage Walker. No relation to Chuck Walker. His family wanted us to point that out. Miles Weaver, Daniel Hall, Cody Lentz. Samuel Smith is the center for South Gibson. Heath Howell, the quarterback. He'll hand it off. That misdirection, working over left side. The penalty, by the way, was offsides on Milan, so it's 1st and 5. And it's a gain by Gordon of 6.
Will be placed on the 40-yard line for the Hornets.
First down, South Gibson. At least that was the initials. Yeah, now they say move the change. So first down for South Gibson. Milan took the opening kickoff and put together a pretty good drive.
They really did.
It flittered out inside the 30 of South Gibson. What do you call this offensive alignment? The wing team?
Yeah.
Here's a give. Oh, the penetration got him in the backfield. That was a very early whistle. Narrator, you're on the sideline. They blew the whistle. I don't even know if in flag football you'd have time to get the flag.
I agree, guys. I think that was a pretty quick whistle. He was still moving forward when they blew the whistle. And guys looking at Milan, just comparing size across the board, they look a pretty good sized team.
Well,
I agree. They look like a smaller high school team.
Good-looking athletes. That number 39.
Yeah, Carmelo Jones.
He's playing linebacker on defense. Boy, type of guy can dominate a game. 2nd and 12. South Gibson, their own 38. Mike Milan jumped off sides. Put a man in motion. Able to draw off a defensive end. That's something else in high school. I don't know why that they haven't caught up to the times. If you jump off sides and don't touch anyone and get back before the ball is snapped, I think you ought to let it go.
I totally agree with that.
But that's not the rule. Yeah, there's abuse, so they mark off 5 against Milan. With that penalty, 2nd down and 7. New line of scrimmage for South Gibson, their own 43. Howell under center. He'll keep it on the ground. Straight ahead is Crenshaw keeping the ball. Not much there to be 3rd down and 6 for South.
Did you notice that defensive formation, guys? They had, look at this, they had 4 men lined up in the A gap right there trying to take away that interior run, and they did a good job of it. I've never seen anybody stack with 4 without a blitz.
Went to Crenshaw that carry. 3rd and 7. South Gibson their own 44. Howe under center. Howe rolls left. He's looking to throw under heavy pressure. Still looking, firing downfield. That pass is complete. Oh, they say no, he didn't get a foot down. We're going to look at it on the replay. But boy, what an effort by Heath Howe. He was under heavy duress. Kept his eyes downfield. And put the ball right on the money, but they say he didn't get a foot down.
Let's see on this release, on this drag. Well, Howe throwing across his body shows a good arm, accurate, but just out of bounds.
Official right there.
I thought that was the case on the initial play.
1:57 left in the first quarter. South Gibson going to roll the dice on 4th and 7 from their own 44. Here's Howe rolling left again. Looking, he's going to run it. Has the 45, has the first down in midfield. Cutting back to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, and he's blindsided, taken off his feet at the 27-yard line. And I knew who made that tackle before I saw who. I'm going to tell you something. This kid's going to be a superstar, Carmelo Jones. Now, it was 30 yards downfield, but man.
Well, as we look on the replay, and you go back and you will see unbelievable. It's number 12, Jonathan Reed, makes a huge block that springs this whole play. That is a man's tackle right there.
I tell you this, Heath Howe is a football player for South Gibson, any narrator?
Yeah, he is. And Carmelo Jones went for Milan either.
He played linebacker and ran. Boy.
He played. I think he played for the Bulldogs right now. And when I say that, I mean the varsity team. You tell me he couldn't?
What a play. It was 4th and 7, and Howe picks up 37. 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 29. They roll out right side, looking to throw the ball. They go underneath at the 30. They have it complete and push it ahead over a Milan would-be tackler down to the 25. On the reception is Jonathan Reed, the fullback, getting into the action. That's going to be a gain of 5 on 1st down.
Well, that's the young man that threw that great block on the previous play that sprung the big gain. It's called paying them off. I believe in it, man. They make a play, you help you get down there, pay them off, and they did.
This comes in from, he said, we do not cover Milan, narrator.
I'm pretty sure I've done some Milan games over the years.
Signed Bradley Owens. He said we cover. 2nd down and 6 officially. To the air they go, under pressure, just throwing it away. Because again, it was Winter Crenshaw. This game brought to you by Steve Marsh Ford in Milan. And boy, you got an F-150 out there, XLT view. Got a Ford Explorer. It's blacked out. Oh, that's a beautiful vehicle. And check out the 2020 Mustang GT. A beautiful vehicle.
Intentional grounding on the Hornets.
They call it intentional grounding. I thought, narrator, that might happen. There was no one in the zip code there.
Nah, I was pretty much the closest dude.
We're trying to call a football game, and I can't get Bass to get his head out of reading up on politics.
It was just such a shocking headline.
I saw that earlier. That is shocking.
What am I do about my leg, Donald Trump?
3rd and 15. South Gibson from their own 35. Howe back there in a gun. He'll hand it off, and it's eaten alive again. They'll lose a yard or two. Bass, I tell you, South Gibson won the regular season game handily, as you pointed out, but tonight, this first quarter has been a kind of a standoff, almost carbon copy from both teams. After one quarter, we're scoreless in the school championship on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
On July 1st, Tennessee law changed for drivers using cell phones, now facing up to a $200 fine for even holding a cell phone while driving. During July, officers were told to be lenient, even issuing only warnings. But now the warnings are over. The tickets are going to be written. Are you street legal for Tennessee's new law? Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall has hands-free devices that can make you compliant for $25 or less. Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall between Reed's Jewelers and Victoria's Secret.
News Talk 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
Middle School Championship Football presented in part by Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. Ian Itzelaco and company. One narrator, he's a great American. Outback is ranked number 1 in the States. The Outback Steakhouse in Jackson and voted best steak in Jackson. But Ian is just a great American, isn't he?
Absolutely. The only problem with Ian's he's a Patriots fan. Other than that, dude, straight up. I'm going to tell you.
He loves America so much he was going to Patriots.
Yeah, he's from there. He gets a pass.
Okay, if he's from there, he gets a pass.
He's from Jackson. He lived there a while. He gets a pass there.
Okay, we're going to give him a pass. The other thing, everybody talks about Outback Steaks, and they are good. But I like that Alice Springs chicken, Pippi, with a blooming onion.
Alice Springs chicken. Let me translate that. It's 4th and 17. South Gibson at the 37 of Milan. Now rolling right, looking downfield. Now he's going to fire it complete at the 23, shy of a first down by a few yards. But boy, I like the way this Heath Howell throws on the run view. He was rolling to his left and throwing well. He just rolled that time to his right. Looked good doing that as well.
The Hornets are a very good football team, but when asked before the start of the game, talking to some of the coaches, said, who's the next big name coming out of Medina, out of South Gibson County? And they said, remember the name, Heath Howell.
And it's been a long time since I came out of South Gibson County, so Heath Howell is like the next big name. Nothing at all. 1st and 10. On the ground, breaking a tackle in the backfield, breaking another, 25 to the 30, and nearly slipping out of another tackle to the 32-yard line. Guess who on the carry? That is Carmelo Jones. He picks up right at 10. That should have been a loss of about 7.
You seen that commercial where who
Look at
is
this,
it?
Bill.
Is it Bo Jackson or somebody running in a commercial, knocking a bunch of people
like
down?
that, yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Boy, he's going to be a star.
Oh.
That Milan runs an eye. 2 wide receivers. Quarterback for the Bulldogs is Daquan Graves. 2nd and a yard from their own 32. Graves going to keep it. He'd go nowhere. I don't think he only needed a yard. I don't think he got it. It'll be 3rd down. It's short. Good defense to the sideline of Richard, the narrator, Barber. And I tell you, well, here's something that's Carmelo Jones is headed to the sideline on 3rd down and 1. But boy, the running back that replaced him looks just like him.
He kind of thick too.
Is that Irvin McCurry in the backfield? It is.
Yep. 3rd and a yard. Milan down 32. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's hammered again. It'll depend on the spots. The Graves got bushwhacked, or pardon me, Gabe Scott.
No gain to them.
No gain again, so Gabe Scott twice on 2nd and 3rd and 1, and now it's 4th and a long one, closer to 2 yards. I'm guessing Gabe's not going to get the call this time, but with Irvin McCurry or the Carmelo Jones option, it's not a bad option.
If Jones is breathing, I'd have him in the game right now.
But narrator, which one of those kids are bigger, Jones or McCurry? Timeout, Milan. We'll get to that in a moment. We'll take the timeout with him. Scoreless, 5:29 left before the half on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Do you owe more than your car is worth? Do you need to rebuild your credit? Do you want $6,000 over KBB fair market value for your trade-in? Then Steve Marsh Ford says bring it. Bring it. Get up to $6,000 for any trade, for every trade. Come to Steve Marsh Ford, the only dealer giving you way too much money for your trade. So don't miss it. Up to $6,000 over KBB on F-150, Super Duty, Expedition, Fusion, Escape, Explorer, virtually every new car and truck on the lot.
But I owe too much.
Bring it.
But my credit.
Bring it. Your full-time job means you're virtually approved. Steve Marsh Ford is the dealer giving you up to $6,000 over KBB for any and every trade. Steve Marsh Ford, South 1st Street in Milan. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marsh Ford, they can't save you money.
Thanks to Precision Auto Body, helping bring you this game tonight. Middle school football. Why local businesses like Precision Auto Body, like Steve Marsh Ford, like Outback Steakhouse, and like Wildest Dimensions View, they mean so much to communities.
Yes, they do.
They're on school boards. They have kids in school. They don't send their money to Wall Street. They pitch it out to Jones. Breaks one tackle. And I don't know. I don't think he got there. They pitched it back to Carmelo Jones on 4th and 2. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Remember now, Jones started this drive with a carry that netted 9 yards. 3 plays later, Milan gives the ball up on downs to South Gibson.
But even that play, the penetration by this front line of the Hornets was devastating. He just made a whole bunch of people miss. But that's 3 straight plays in which the penetration made the difference for the Hornets. That's what it's all about.
Well, narrator, they give it to him on 1st down, and on 4th down, they give it up.
Yeah, I don't really understand that series there, guys.
So South Gibson takes over. Heath Howe, great starting field position. Howe, the QB at the Milan 31. Out of the gun, he'll hand it off. Puts him up, 30. Dragging a Bulldog with him down to the 26-yard line. It's Jones on the tackle. On the carry for South Gibson was Luke Gordon. Luke will have 5.
Yeah, and you know, Gordon's kind of coming up a little gimpy there. I don't know if it was a hip, but that was just a violent tackle by Jones.
Carmelo Jones didn't play like a middle school. He's like a middle school version of Dick Butkus, narrator.
Yeah, he is, guys. He's put together. He's quick. He's fast. Coach Teddy Pendergrass talking about Carmelo. Come on up here.
But I tell you this, he's not happy with just a tackle. In trouble, they go to the air, just throwing it away. Heath Howe's a smart quarterback. Irvin McCurry was in his grill and hit him as he threw it. But Howe threw it away to save his team about 10 yards. I tell you, this Heath Howe is going to be Hornet fans, you're going to enjoy him. He'll be in high school next year, an 8th grader. I'm impressed with him, Bill.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I really like this young man on both sides of the football.
Well, now you don't see 8th graders that often make decisions at QB the way he's making.
Well, and the arm, too, guys. That ball, even though he had to throw it out of bounds, was a tight, beautiful spot.
3rd and 5 at the Milan 26. It's a low snap. It's a fumble, and Milan's got it. And that's McCurry. Irvin McCurry, the linebacker, come blitzing in there, Bass. It was a low snap. Howe went down but couldn't find the handle. And you see that's McCurry. Just look at that. Bam.
Yeah, that time McCurry lined up over the center in the A gap on the snap. He was in the backfield. The snap was low. Nothing Howe could do. And he tried to get on the ball, but McCurry was there before he could do anything about it.
Game's first turnover. 4:25 left in the first half. We're scoreless. Middle school championship game for Gibson County. Peabody won it last year. Trenton Middle School under the tutelage of some guy named Mickey Marley. Young head coach trying to make a name for himself. So here's Milan, 1st and 10, throw 31. Scott going to try to sweep it and going nowhere.
Boy, forget about it. This is what I was talking about, the right side of that Hornet defense. Look at this. No chance for the quarterback. Just look at it. Stack 8 in the box right there, getting off the line of scrimmage. Great pressure, no chance.
Man, they have a meeting in the backfield. That's defensive front is so good. Greg Hornsby, defensive end. And
Miles Weaver in there.
Weaver. He's now playing linebacker. The quarterback does. Went to Crenshaw, linebacker. Gage Walker and Miles Weaver, defensive tackles. Narrator, they were in the backfield just hanging out, waiting to see what Gabe Scott was going to do with the ball.
Yeah, guys, what's going to have to happen for this football game to determine who's going to win is that offensive line get something done. But
let me take this timeout with him, narrator, and finish your thoughts here in just a moment. Timeout. Milan, we take it with him with 3:32 left in the first half. Scoreless on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
We all love high school football, right, Coach? Yes, we do, Dan. And we love Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. The #1 ranked Outback Steakhouse in the entire state. It voted best steak in Jackson. And I can eat as much as an entire football team. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson has added some great new items. My new favorite is Bloomin' Fried Chicken. It's Outback's twist on fried chicken. A boneless chicken breast, hand-battered in bloomin' onion seasoning, fried to golden brown, and drizzled with Outback's spicy signature bloomin' sauce. Without Outback in Jackson, we couldn't broadcast and telecast all of these high school games.
Thanks, Coach. This is Ian Inslaco at Outback in Jackson. Jackson and West Tennessee has been great to us, and supporting high school athletics and academics is our way to give back to the people that give us so much. Good luck to all of our young men and women in this new school year and football season.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, 194 Stonebrook Place. Open weekdays at 4 and weekends at 11. Download the free Outback Steakhouse app and earn rewards.
We're not just another radio station. We're your radio station. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
3:32 left before halftime. The Gibson County Middle School Football Championship game. Milan here at South Gibson for the championship. Milan has the football, 2nd and 14 from their own 27. They're going to pitch it. McCurry fumbles. He's in trouble and dumped back at the 16. That's a loss of 11. So Milan going in reverse their last 2 possessions after a 9-yard run by, not McCurry, but Jones. It's been in reverse ever since, Beard.
Yeah, it really has. Of course, Jones hasn't carried the ball since then, I don't believe.
He's carried
except
once.
for the 4th down. Yeah, but again, I almost sound like a broken record, but the same thing keeps happening. They're blowing up that Milan offensive line. None of these plays have a chance.
3rd and 24. Milan at their own 17. They've got to reach the 41 to keep the drive alive. Halfback pass. They just whopped it up. This one's going to be intercepted at the 35. 30, outside of number 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and finally they get him down at the 5. Holy moly, on the INT, Nick Jones, the cornerback. And that one was just thrown up pass for grabs, and Jones made the play on it and nearly took it to the house.
Yeah, just nobody open, just thrown it up trying to make a play, had the one-on-one coverage, way underthrown, and as you mentioned, not only does Jones look at it and make the catch, picks up a couple of blocks, and boy, he showed some wheels and nearly got in.
So South Gibson takes over 1st and goal from the 5. 2.5 minutes left before halftime. We're scoreless. On the ground, they go straight ahead like a scrum at a rugby match down to the 1. Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, South Gibson was the whole first half. They've had, 9 guys in the box and just kind of daring Milan to throw it. And then they tried that little option pass and they were ready for it.
2 minutes left in the first half. The 2-minute warning. Second and goal officially from the 2. Hal, the QB. He'll hand it off, working left side into the end zone. Touchdown, South Gibson. Luke Gordon from 2 yards away. And the Hornets, after Nick Jones' interception and 30-yard return, takes him only 2 plays to hit pay dirt and take a 6-0 lead.
Well, a lot of substitution here on this 2-point conversion, which could prove big.
For the Hornets, under center goes Howell. 2-point conversion attempt. Howell going to roll to his left. Looking, throwing. This one is caught. And it's a 2-point conversion on a beautiful pass as Howell hits Nick Jones. And it's 8-0. South Gibson on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
There's a reason. Steve Marshford in Milan is the fastest growing dealer in West Tennessee. There's a reason. We are often imitated, but never duplicated. There's a reason. We have the largest new Ford inventory around. There's a reason. We are #1 in West Tennessee in new Ford sales. There's a reason. Our used inventory is larger and better than the rest. There's a reason. No one can beat our deals. Come to Milan and find out why. Steve Marshford will always be the dealer to give you up to $6,000 over KBB for your trade. Steve Marshford will always have the best deals, best inventory, best staff, and the best service department. Come see for yourself the reason why Steve Marshford did it first and does it better than everyone. The proof is in the numbers. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marshford, we can't save you money.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL, and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Well, South Gibson with a touchdown and a gorgeous 2-point conversion as Howell hits Nick Jones in the corner of the end zone. Then Bass, they just hit an onside kick and get the ball back. With 1:45 left, South Gibson will take over at the Bulldog 48. Last 2 times Milan touched the football, they turned it over an INT and now a fumble on the kickoff.
Can't do it against a team like the Hornets. They will make you pay every time.
1:48. Hornets still have all 3 of their timeouts. Howell going to go back to the air. Looking, rolling, throwing deep down the sideline. Incomplete. That one could have easily drawn some mustards. As Cody Smith, the tight end, got behind the DB, and now DB had no idea where the ball was. You don't have to. You can. I guess you can face guard in middle school, but I don't know if it was. We looked at the replay. Don't know if it was enough of a push to warrant a flag. Narrator?
Well, guys, I like what South Gibson's doing, Coach Moore and his staff. If they're going to throw the ball, their offensive line hadn't been able to really establish dominance. So as they're rolling out, they're looking for the receiver. And, that could be successful. They had a shot at that one.
Yeah, I watching the replay. That probably should have been a flag. He grabbed his arm. Ball was in the air. Break for Milan. 2nd and 10. South Gibson at the Bulldog 48. They pitch it left side. That's a move. Has the 45. Has the 40 outside the numbers 35. Down the sideline 30 and scampering out of bounds to stop the clock at the 27 on the carry for South Gibson. Luke Gordon, he's a good-looking running back.
Yeah, scored the touchdown. Great acceleration off left tackle. That time, though, Milan had the opportunity, but they over-pursued and took themselves right out of the play.
27-yard line.
McCurry got blocked big time on that one.
If Milan wants to entertain an opportunity to win this football game, they cannot let South Gibson County in the end zone.
It's still plenty of time. 1:27 left before halftime. South Gibson has all 3 of their timeouts. 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 27. Howell going to pitch it right side. Nothing there. A stutter step, breaking a tackle. And boy, they having a hard time getting him off his feet, but there's nowhere to go.
On the run for the Hornets.
Crenshaw on the carry to the sideline, and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, you know, South Gibson would like to get something in here in this last minute before we go to halftime. Be interesting to see what they dial up here.
I don't know if I've seen Carmelo Jones back in the game on
He just
defense.
checked back in.
Clock is moving. South Gibson letting it roll with 45 seconds left. 2nd and 10. I don't quite get this from you with 3 timeouts left. 2nd and 10 from the Milan 27. Hal play action, back to throw. Pressure comes. Hal goes down at the 31. Well, that was a big play to keep them out of the end zone, at least momentarily. Timeout, South Gibson will take the timeout with them with 20 seconds left before halftime. 8-0 South Gibson on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
On July 1st, Tennessee law changed for drivers using cell phones, now facing up to a $200 fine for even holding a cell phone while driving. During July, officers were told to be lenient, even issuing only warnings. But now the warnings are over. The tickets are going to be written. Are you street legal for Tennessee's new law? Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall has hands-free devices that can make you compliant for $25 or less. Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall between Reed's Jewelers and Victoria's Secret.
Hey, we've even got the Super Bowl. News Talk 101.5 FM.
3rd down and 14. South Gibson burns a timeout with 20 seconds left before halftime. 8-0. South Gibson. Milan after an opening drive that looked good. Started at their own 34. And it's flittered out inside the South Gibson 30, but since then, Bass, after a 9-yard run on 1st down on the ensuing drive from Milan, they've got nothing from this South Gibson front
I don't know
wall.
that they have positive yardage since then.
No, I don't think so. Now, I mean, that front defense in front for South Gibson's taken the game over, and South Gibson turned an INT into 6 points. Narrator?
As a matter of fact, I was just wondering what we going to see here. Something cute, fellas, I believe. I don't know why you call a timeout there if you wasn't.
3rd and 14. Rolling left is Hal. He'll throw it underneath. It's caught for a short gain. It's a 31. Tackle is made immediately. It's only a gain of a couple. It'll be 4th down and timeout. South Gibson will get this timeout with him as well. On Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
If you're ever involved in an automobile accident, the last thing you need to worry about is what to do next. It's simple. Call Precision Auto Body at 783-0075, and they can handle the rest for you. With rental cars on site, they can have you back on the road with no delay. They repair all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. No need for you to run to a franchise or dealer where you're just another number. At Precision Auto Body, you're known by your name and your concerns about your vehicle. They've been in the same location between Milan and Medina for 20 years, with adding a second high-quality location in Dyersburg in 2014. They have all certified technicians and continuous education, so they can repair your vehicle to factory conditions. Remember, you own your vehicle. You own your insurance. You own the right to tell your insurance company that you want Precision Auto Body to repair your vehicle. So don't be just another number, and don't be steered in the wrong direction. Call Precision Auto Body, 783-0075.
4th down and 14. South Gibson, they'll go for it at the Bulldog 32, leading 8-0. 12 seconds left before halftime. Hal goes shotgun. Here comes a blitz. He rolls right to avoid the pressure. Still rolling. Now he'll run. Has a 30. And he'll just scamper out of bounds at the 26. Well shy of the 1st down. So Milan will take it over from their own. Well, with only, and boy, I tell you, Jones nearly got a penalty.
They will take over from the 27.
Nearly hit him out of bounds, but kind of missed him. But I think that was another smart play by Howell. Instead of throwing it up, which could have been an INT and return for a touchdown, he just runs out of bounds with 3 seconds and says, hey, Milan, if you can go 74 yards in 3 seconds, be my guest. Scott under center. High formation for the Bulldogs. Drifting back to throw. They sling it deep down the near sideline. It's caught at the 40 and out of bounds. That was actually in the QB, Irvin McCurry, who launched that thing down the field, and Lumpkin made a great catch. Let's go down to the sideline to Richard, the narrator Barber.
Coach Easmore, Coach, your offense had a tough time getting rhythm, but, man, the defense stepped up. 2 big turnovers in the second quarter.
Yes, the defense playing fine. Our offensive line's got to stop blitzing linebackers. We're having trouble with that right now, so that's what we're about to go talk about.
Thanks, Coach.
Richard, the narrator Barber, with South Gibson Middle School head coach Heath Moores, does a great job with this program. At halftime, the Gibson County Middle School Championship football game at South Gibson 8 and Milan 0 on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Do you owe more than your car is worth? Do you need to rebuild your credit? Do you want $6,000 over KBB fair market value for your trade-in? Then Steve Marsh Ford says bring it. Bring it. Get up to $6,000 for any trade, for every trade. Come to Steve Marsh Ford, the only dealer giving you way too much money for your trade. So don't miss it. Up to $6,000 over KBB on F-150, Super Duty, Expedition, Fusion, Escape, Explorer, virtually every new car and truck on the lot.
But I owe too much.
Bring it.
But my credit.
Bring it. Your full-time job means you're virtually approved. Steve Marsh Ford is the dealer giving you up to $6,000 over KBB for any and every trade. Steve Marsh Ford, South First Street in Milan. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marsh Ford, they can't save you money.
Welcome to Jackson's original News Talk FM. The information you want to hear at the office and on the road. Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM.
Welcome back to Middle School Championship football here at South Gibson County. Medina, Tennessee, your score at the half. South Gibson County 8 and Milan 0 for the Gibson County Middle School Championship. You know, this was a game that was pretty much a blowout in the regular season, but right now it's a one-possession game. Just about 3 or 4 minutes left to go in the first half, and it was the Hornets cashing in. The first ones to do so is Luke Gordon in from 2 yards. The 2-point conversion, by the way, was absolutely fantastic. A great catch by Nick Jones and a great throw by Heath Howe. Connections there. The extra point is, or the 2-point conversion is good, and the Hornets lead 8-0. You know, Milan's had a couple of big plays early on in this game, and it is clear that Carmelo Jones is the most talented football player on this field, but it hasn't translated. They haven't had a positive play other than that final Hail Mary catch, which, by the way, Irvin McCurry threw that football in the air 40 yards off his back foot. Irvin is an 8th grader. I guess that gets you, about 13 years old? Sound about right to y'all? 8th graders use somewhere around the 13 years old. Off his back foot under pressure, threw it 40 yards, and it was a great connection and a great job, by the way. We need to mention Trey Lumpkin looking that pass in. He was under heavy duress, but the clock expired. It was the final play of the half, and that's where you find it right now. Very entertaining game, very quick game, because as you know, there is 12-minute quarters in high school, but in middle school it's only 8 minutes. So if it seems like that first half went by quickly, that was the reason for it. They're 4 minutes quicker in the quarter than they are on the high school level. But this is what it's all about. This is grassroots. It's a hot, steamy Tuesday night. I look below me, and these home stands are mostly filled up. We got people somewhere around the fence, all over the place on the field. The Milan fans have showed up, and it's a great community response by both of these programs. Should be an interesting second half. Milan won the toss to start things off, and they got the football. They elected to receive the football, so South Gibson County will get the ball to start things off in the second half. Now, as we look at this thing, one thing that's real interesting to me is the way that the Hornets were able to dominate the line of scrimmage, especially when Milan had the football. Everything they tried to do was thwarted because they were in the backfield before they could even move. We'll take this timeout, coming to you live from Medina, Tennessee. Again, your score at the half, South Gibson County 8 and Milan nothing on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM and WNWS.com.
We all love high school football, right, Coach? Yes,
Hey, sorry about that. This one's running for 4 minutes.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, the #1 ranked Outback Steakhouse in the entire state. It voted best steak in Jackson. And I can eat as much as an entire football team. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson has added some great new items. My new favorite is Bloomin' Fried Chicken. It's Outback's twist on fried chicken. A boneless chicken breast, hand-battered in Bloomin' onion seasoning, fried to golden brown, and drizzled with Outback's spicy signature Bloomin' sauce. Without Outback in Jackson, we couldn't broadcast and telecast all of these high school games.
Thanks, Coach. This is Ian Slocko at Outback in Jackson. Jackson and West Tennessee has been great to us, and supporting high school athletics and academics is our way to give back to the people that give us so much. Good luck to all of our young men and women in this new school year and football season.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, 194 Stonebrook Place. Open weekdays at 4 and weekends at 11. Download the free Outback Steakhouse app and earn rewards.
There's a reason. Steve Marshford in Milan is the fastest growing dealer in West Tennessee. There's a reason. We are often imitated, but never duplicated. There's a reason. We have the largest new Ford inventory around. There's a reason. We are #1 in West Tennessee in new Ford sales. There's a reason. Our used inventory is larger and better than the rest. There's a reason. No one can beat our deals. Come to Milan and find out why. Steve Marshford will always be the dealer to give you up to $6,000 over KBB for your trade. Steve Marshford will always have the best deals, best inventory, best staff, and the best service department. Come see for yourself the reason why Steve Marshford did it first and does it better than everyone. The proof is in the numbers. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marshford, we can't save you money.
If you're ever involved in an automobile accident, the last thing you need to worry about is what to do next. It's simple. Call Precision Auto Body at 783-0075, and they can handle the rest for you. With rental cars on site, they can have you back on the road with no delay. They repair all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. No need for you to run to a franchise or dealer where you're just another number. At Precision Auto Body, you're known by your name and your concerns about your vehicle. They've been in the same location between Milan and Medina for 20 years, with adding a second high-quality location in Dyersburg in 2014. They have all certified technicians and continuous education, so they can repair your vehicle to factory conditions. Remember, you own your vehicle. You own your insurance. You own the right to tell your insurance company that you want Precision Auto Body to repair your vehicle. So don't be just another number, and don't be steered in the wrong direction. Call Precision Auto Body, 783-0075.
On July 1st, Tennessee law changed for drivers using cell phones, now facing up to a $200 fine for even holding a cell phone while driving. During July, officers were told to be lenient, even issuing only warnings. But now the warnings are over. The tickets are gonna be written. Are you street legal for Tennessee's new law? Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall has hands-free devices that can make you compliant for $25 or less. Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall between Reed's Jewelers and Victoria's Secret.
More than just the headlines. Get the real story here. Your source for news, weather, sports, and traffic. Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM.
This is WNWS-FM Jackson. News brought to you by the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. 112 Stonebridge, Jackson.
This game's also brought to you by Worthy Road Studios. Paul Schulze and company. Just the absolute best. Hey, Paul, what number should they call for Worthy Road Studios?
499-1730.
One more time, please, Paul.
499-1730.
He was sharing about Mike. His breath is pleasant. It smells like a puppy breath.
I hate puppy breath.
Oh, I love it. Narrator, don't you love a puppy breath? Puppy breath. The narrators
He's literally not even on the field.
He
right
said
now.
Winston
You say puppy bread?
Narrator said Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Yeah, he said puppy breath, narrator.
I was hanging out with my peeps.
Well, narrator can't go anywhere. That is signing autographs. Now, he's put them in his pocket, but he's been signing them. If you wanted it, he's pre-signed several. He's got them in his pocket, man. The paper, notebook paper he's signing is going to be wrinkled.
And they don't concern yourself with the corn chip smell. It'll pass.
Or the puppy breath. Well, 8-0 at halftime. Now it's South Gibson with the lead, and they get the kickoff to start the second half. What's your thoughts? Milan's offense been running in reverse since the first drive they've had tonight. They had 3 possessions. First one was a good one that kind of flittered out inside the South Gibson 30, but since then they've not been able to pick up another first down.
They really hadn't, guys. They hadn't been able to get, and Bass, an old offensive lineman, I know he'll appreciate this. If you can't win the line of scrimmage, you can't get much done. And so far, Milan just hadn't been able to win at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
although South Gibson hadn't done a lot better. Their defense put the points on the board.
Well, guess what? Carmelo Jones going to kick off for Milan. I guess he drove the bus over here, too. Line drive, hit one of the upbacks, and dies off the carom right at the 40.
After the kickoff, the Hornets will have the ball.
So the Hornets with nice starting field position. They'll begin the second half from their own 40. This game brought to you by some great local sponsors. Steve Marsh Ford in Milan on South 1st Street. 29 years in Milan. By Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, the #1 ranked Outback in the state. By Precision Auto Body, Mark Hardy and Company right here in Medina on the Milan Highway. And Wireless Dimensions in the Old Hickory Mall. Right across from Victoria's Secret, and that ain't a bad place to be. They start on the ground, working left side. They'll have 4 on the carry. Is Luke Gordon, and Bass, he's a strong running back, isn't he?
Yeah, that's one of the most successful plays that they've had. They've ran that about 3 or 4 times off left tackle to Gordon. Milan did a better job of defending at that time, but still, you'll take 4 or 5 yards a pop, no doubt.
Bass, help me with that play. It's hard to see from down here because you're right. It's the most successful play in their book so far. What are they doing to get that left tackle, to get it open there, to pick up those 6,
Well,
8,
one of
9
the things is that right defensive end is taking a straight angle up the field and taking himself out of the play.
Cameron, keep your eye on the phone line. We've had a traffic accident. Downtown Ricky Brown going to call in. Back on the ground, back to Luke Gordon. Not much there, Bass, a yard working over left tackle.
Yeah, that time, big number 56, actually from the other side of the field, Nicalius Johnson, just a 7th grader. He's played well tonight. He stalked that play straight down the line of scrimmage and made the tackle.
I saw something for the first time. I've never seen this. The official marked the ball at the 45. He looked over at the sticks, and the man at the sticks had it on the 46, and he moved the ball to match the sticks instead of vice versa. 3rd and 4. South Gibson at their own 46. Howe under center, and I think he's drawn Milan offside. Cam, do we have a downtown Ricky Brown on the phone line?
Yeah, he's here waiting on us. If you'd like to go ahead and speak with him, you
Let's
can.
do that. Downtown Ricky Brown, traffic updates. DTR being a network of traffic spotters presented by Mitchell's Body Shop, mitchellsbodyshop.com. Rick, what's happening out there tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Dan. Great game going on. Sorry to interrupt you for just a minute, guys, but we do have a pretty good finish going on right now. 45 bypass in Jackson at Channing Way University Parkway Drive. It's right in the intersection. It's got one northbound lane blocked. If you're coming up 45 bypass northbound, you're going to have to go out to the outside lane. Jackson Fire Department, Jackson Police Department, Medical Center, EMS are all on the scene trying to sort this out, Dan. It looks like about 3, possibly 4 vehicles involved. They reported injuries in it. The EMS has been there and left, so we're going to be prayerful for that. But right now, traffic is congested. It's backed up at the intersection of Channing Way and 45 bypass, one inside lane there at the intersection is blocked. Those folks on Channing Way cannot cross over to Union University Drive at this time, Dan.
Downtown Ricky Brown. Rick, thank you so much. We appreciate you, big man. You do the same. In the meantime, on first down to the air, Heath Howell hit Winter Crenshaw. He dropped it. Would have been a first down at about the 40. Heath Howell is as accurate as I've ever seen a middle school quarterback.
Yeah, he throws with touch, just elevated it over that front line out in the short side flat, and Crenshaw just couldn't reel it in.
2nd and 10. South Gibson just into Milan territory at the 49. On the ground, hammered after a yard. Big defensive lineman making the play for the Bulldogs. That's Aiden Sellers, an 8th grader.
Big boy.
Yeah, now Milan's got some big, good-looking athletes, but South Gibson seems to I don't know, they just seem to execute a little bit better.
And I think that's the key, because I've been waiting on Sellers all night. When I got down here on the field, I thought, kid looks like a high school player playing defensive tackle, and you think he'd make some noise there, but did make a big play right there.
You can watch this game if you log on to WNWS.com. Go down to the South Gibson page. Watch our game tonight. Middle School Championship, South Gibson versus Milan. This is the opening drive of the second half. South Gibson has it 3rd and 8 at the Bulldog 47, and they're going to be assessed a delay of game penalty.
Delay of game against the Hornets.
So it'll be 3rd and 13 after they step off 5. I wonder why they don't have the shot clocks in operation. The play clock here. They've got them.
Yeah, and they're lit up.
Yep. Third and, they say officially 14 from their own 48. South Gibson, Howell, play action to the air. Fires, and it's incomplete at the 38. He had to throw it a little bit early, but man, it looked like it was right under money. I think that Gordon didn't look back in time, Buell. That may have been 6.
Yeah, and he had both his receivers on each hash that released off the line of scrimmage and got past their man. That ball just goes through the hands that time of Luke Gordon.
I don't remember a middle school quarterback as accurate as Heath Howell.
That was a catchable ball, and you're right. He didn't. Gordon didn't look back in time, didn't give himself time to track the ball. He was late getting the track, and the ball went through his hands.
Timeout. South Gibson will take the timeout with him. 4:37 left in the third quarter. It's 8-0 South Gibson on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
There's a reason. Steve Marshford in Milan is the fastest growing dealer in West Tennessee. There's a reason. We are often imitated, but never duplicated. There's a reason. We have the largest new Ford inventory around. There's a reason. We are #1 in West Tennessee in new Ford sales. There's a reason. Our used inventory is larger and better than the rest. There's a reason. No one can beat our deals. Come to Milan and find out why. Steve Marshford will always be the dealer to give you up to $6,000 over KBB for your trade. Steve Marshford will always have the best deals, best inventory, best staff, and the best service department. Come see for yourself the reason why Steve Marshford did it first and does it better than everyone. The proof is in the numbers. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marshford, we can't save you money.
Did you say football? High school game of the week, the SEC championship, and the NFL on Monday nights. News Talk 101.5 FM. 101.5 FM.
Well, South Gibson on 4th and 14. Heath Howell, the quarterback, is also the punter. And South Gibson called a timeout before they run a fake punt, and that didn't fool Milan. You can see Christian Coleman, the former Bulldog standout, who went on to play for Kentucky, was yelling at his guys, "Hey, Hal may throw it," and he did. So Milan has great starting field position, down 8-0. They begin at the South Gibson 47. On the ground with some room to the 45, bouncing outside. A flag comes in, 40, 35, 30, down to the 23. On the carry is Carmelo Jones, but this one's probably going to come back, and Carmelo Jones, after he barely talking some smack about
a little
his handiwork, talking some yang, they're going to mark it back.
See if we can find this on the instant replay.
Boy, his field vision is.
Look at the acceleration.
I tell you, he's got great field vision. Narrative. Well, he's an emotional young man, and if he can somehow reel that in, he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, he plays with an edge, guys. It's been a couple of times here where he's made a tackle, put both hands in the ball carrier's chest to get up, things like that. He's not above a little bit of an intimidation.
1st and 17, back at their own 44, back to the ground, back to Jones. He'll move from the 44 out to midfield. He gets popped pretty good.
And he gets popped, and they clearly want to go off right tackle. It's the strong side. They're loading two tights over there. But if you're Milan, I'll take 7-8 yards like that. They've needed some forward progress. The play is hand off to Jones and let him go.
Boy,
there's no need to get cute here.
No.
I might consider spreading out the defense a little bit more.
2nd and 14 from midfield. Jones, the lone setback. Quarterback Scott's going to keep it. Maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and long. They've run that play 4 times tonight. I think it's netted 1 yard.
Yeah, I don't mind it if that's, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. But that's not going to work here against this defense.
No. And I tell you, Jonathan Reed, the linebacker, read that beautifully narrated. Scott wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this South Gibson team is, you talked about execution a while ago, and that's key. This defense executes are where they're supposed to be, and they show up with bad intentions.
3rd and 13 from the Hornet 49. They pitch it left side. Here's McCurry. Breaks one tackle, but switches gears to the 45, to the 40. As he cuts against the grain to the 35, down to the 30, and they finally drag him down as he reverses field and gets outside the numbers all the way down to the Hornet 28-yard line. On 3rd and 14, he has 20. What a run by McCurry.
I have a message for Teddy Pettigrew. In 2 years, maybe 1, but in 2 years, McCurry and Jones. McCurry left, Jones right. Jones left, McCurry right. That's all you need to know.
Boy, guys.
Those are 2 studs.
Yep. But now it's Jones back in there, tailback. That's the first set of downs from Milan since the opening drive of the game. 1st and 10 for the South Gibson 28. Here's Jones again, 25. Jones dragging tacklers, and boy, another late flag comes in from the White Hats. There it is. That's second holding call on this drive, and they both come from 20 yards behind the play from the White Hats.
Yeah, that's a White Hat throwing the flag. Coach Willis is over here in the ear of the side judge over here now, wondering what in the world's going on.
Side judge said, I didn't throw it.
You can figure that out, Bew.
Man, Danny, as compact as they are in that double tight formation, it's really difficult to tell. I didn't see anything initially. Didn't mean it didn't happen.
And now the White Hat catcher, I guess coach's voice tarries because White Hat 50 yards away was getting an earful. 1st down at about 20. New line of scrimmage, the 36 of South Gibson. Back to the ground, back to Jones. Jones from the 35, right up the middle, down to the 30. Before he's taken off his feet, it's a warm night. He's getting up very slowly.
Have you noticed, Danny, that instead of them coming up right there on the line of scrimmage and killing anything off tackle? By the way, there was a great block by the left tackle for Milan that time. The linebackers are almost sitting back and waiting for Jones to get to them as if they're bracing for that contact.
With his field vision, that's probably not a bad strategy.
Yeah.
But he's made a few misses in the backfield tonight with a stutter step. 2nd and 11. Minute 10 left, third quarter. Milan's at the South Gibson 30, down by 8. Here's McCurry. McCurry 25, 20 to the 15, and he's spun down at the 10. As McCurry rips off 20 yards on 2nd and 14. Irvin McCurry,
who lined up at quarterback here, Danny. Look at this now, and see, now that means you get Jones and McCurry in the game at the same time. They should run that formation every time.
Narrator, those two, quite a 1-2 punch, McCurry and Jones.
Boy, they are. They're stout, they're thick, they're quick, got good vision. That's what does South Gibson now. I mean, every play they're running is off right tackle. What does South Gibson need to do to shore that up?
I mean, you've got 8 in the box, narrator. you just rely on your guys to win their battle. There's 8 in the box. I don't know what else you can do.
I think you keep doing what you're doing, Bass. Make them earn
it. I agree.
And force them into a mistake.
You can't put 11 in the box.
Not with McCurry at QB. He's under center. And we've got whistles. Delay a game. Milan.
Back him up a little bit.
I mean, you know what I mean? What else can you do?
Oh, no, you're right. I think South Gibson's playing it smart. And just try to don't. And you hear Milan coaching staff giving the officials an earful. 1st and 15, you line of scrimmage to South Gibson 15. McCurry under center. He's going to try to keep it. They eat that one alive, but he gets out of it. To the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Irvin McCurry, he should have been tackled for a loss. But he totes the male 15 yards into the end zone, and Milan is pulled to within 2.
Watch this, Danny. He fakes like he's going to pitch it back once he meets contact to Jones. See right here? And they think about it, and the defenders look away, and he tucks it and runs right up the field. What a move by McCurry.
Boy, a move at the 10, narrator. He just went right around a would-be tackler with a little dead leg and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and that calmed this Milan coaching staff down a little bit because, boy, they was getting hot.
Well, now Milan, a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. McCurry goes under center with Jones, the lone setback. McCurry going to keep it again, and McCurry easily into the end zone, and we're tied at 8 with 7 seconds left in the third quarter on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
If you're ever involved in an automobile accident, the last thing you need to worry about is what to do next. It's simple. Call Precision Auto Body at 783-0075, and they can handle the rest for you. With rental cars on site, they can have you back on the road with no delay. They repair all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. No need for you to run to a franchise or dealer where you're just another number. At Precision Auto Body, you're known by your name and your concerns about your vehicle. They've been in the same location between Milan and Medina for 20 years, with adding a second high-quality location in Dyersburg in 2014. They have all certified technicians and continuous education, so they can repair your vehicle to factory conditions. Remember, you own your vehicle. You own your insurance. You own the right to tell your insurance company that you want Precision Auto Body to repair your vehicle. So don't be just another number, and don't be steered in the wrong direction. Call Precision Auto Body, 783-0075.
Okay, for you longtime Bulldog fans, this middle school team, narrator, see if you agree with this. It's like having two. It's like cloning Ernest Fields and having 2 of them on your team. Narrator? Now it has gone dark. That's how Arnus used to look running the football.
You know, I pondered asking that question.
Here's Jones, kick it off from Milan. High, short, going to hit the ground at the 30. They got to get it. It's a live ball. South Gibson picks it up. Now I thought they might have something. They got him corralled at the 30. Well, Milan's got all the momentum.
Kickoff return for the Hornets.
And narrator, if you're with us here, I know you've been in a conversation, but these two running backs from Milan, it's like, for old Bulldog fans, it's like they cloned Ernest Fields, and you got two of them on your middle school team.
Yeah, guys, I was just talking to some of the coaching staff over here. Coach Willis got to Milan late in the year, or early in the school year, so he didn't have hardly any preseason prep with these kids, and I think that's an indicator. You know, y'all alluded a few minutes ago how bad South Gibson beat them during the year. Obviously, Coach Willis and his staff's gotten them better.
Well, Coach Willis is a good one. First down, South Gibson. They got to run it 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. Outside the numbers and down to the Milan 42. Big play. Keith Howe. I'm telling you, that guy can play on my football team. For South Gibson, he's down to the Milan 41 on the final play of the third quarter. We're tied at 8 in the middle school championship game on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
We all love high school football, right, Coach? Yes, we do, Dan. And we love Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. The #1 ranked Outback Steakhouse in the entire state. And voted best steak in Jackson. And I can eat as much as an entire football team. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson has added some great new items. My new favorite is Bloomin' Fried Chicken. It's Outback's twist on fried chicken. A boneless chicken breast, hand-battered in bloomin' onion seasoning, fried to golden brown, and drizzled with Outback's spicy signature bloomin' sauce. Without Outback in Jackson, we couldn't broadcast and telecast all of these high school games.
Thanks, Coach. This is Ian Insalako at Outback in Jackson. Jackson and West Tennessee has been great to us, and supporting high school athletics and academics is our way to give back to the people that give us so much. Good luck to all of our young men and women in this new school year and football season.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, 194 Stonebrook Place. Open weekdays at 4 and weekends at 11. Download the free Outback Steakhouse app and earn rewards.
Monday Night Football, the NFL, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Here we go, 1 quarter for a championship. First and 10, South Gibson is Howe. Going to run it again outside the numbers. 35, 30, down the sideline, 25, 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown, Hornets. Heath Howe, 41 yards. So Heath Howe, 2 plays, 70 yards, just like that. South Gibson is back out in front, and that's, my friends, is how you answer a touchdown.
Well, watch this replay, Dan. You got a back who pulled back in coverage, and the only person trying to halfway set an edge is a defensive lineman scraping it out there. That's a complete mismatch. Beautiful job by Howe. Bad breakdown defensively by the Bulldogs.
Well, Heath, narrator, that young man can play for my team any day.
Well, you ain't lying, because he broke the corner there, and as he looked upfield, you know, he was scanning the field. He had to make a move here and there, kind of a juke, and then he was gone.
Here's a huge 2-point try for South Gibson. Howe under center. No, there's a snap it back. There's a whistle. I think a timeout. Yeah, timeout. South Gibson. We'll keep it right here. Now, this by far is the best middle school game we've ever called. Usually they're one-sided. Last year, Peabody won big. Year before that, South Gibson won big over Milan. But this year, it's been the tale of two halves, at least to this point. South Gibson dominated the first half, but neither team really able to get a lot going offensively. It was the INT. The short field, South Gibson made Milan play, but Heath Howe, who's been doing it with his arm all night for South Gibson, 2 plays on the ground for Howe. He ran both of them, 70 yards in 2 plays after Milan had tied the game at 8.
Yeah, you know, at this level, You still don't know how to play football yet. I mean, you learn it. Look, there are some that really they get it quicker than others, but you're still learning how to play the game of football. And so we usually see that when we cover these middle school games. This one right here, I see purpose and game plan by these guys and execution. This is one of the best ones I've seen. I agree.
And I tell you, it looks like a great hire by Milan over there on the sideline. Coach Willis. He's the father of Caleb Willis, the running back for USJ, and he was instrumental at the middle school at USJ under the leadership of Mickey Marley for years.
Undefeated last season.
Well, he wasn't coaching them.
No, I'm saying that they were undefeated.
Here is South Gibson now going for two. Howell going to throw for it. Got a man wide open. It's caught in the end zone by Nick Jones. A beautiful play design, and South Gibson takes a 16-8 lead on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Do you owe more than your car is worth? Do you need to rebuild your credit? Do you want $6,000 over KBB fair market value for your trade-in? Then Steve Marsh Ford says bring it. Bring it. Get up to $6,000 for any trade, for every trade. Come to Steve Marsh Ford, the only dealer giving you way too much money for your trade. So don't miss it. Up to $6,000 over KBB on F-150, Super Duty, Expedition, Fusion, Escape, Explorer, virtually every new car and truck on the lot.
But I owe too much.
Bring it.
But my credit.
Bring it. Your full-time job means you're virtually approved. Steve Marsh Ford is the dealer giving you up to $6,000 over KBB for any and every trade. Steve Marsh Ford, South First Street in Milan. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marsh Ford, they can't save you money.
News Talk 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
(16-8). South Gibson is just pushed back out in front after seeing Milan tie the game at 8. 7:47 left. The Gibson County Middle School Football Championship game here in Medina. South Gibson and Milan. South Gibson kick it off. Scooped up at the 45 to the 50. Taken down at the 48. Now that's a great play by one of the Nicholas Johnson, one of the big guys on the kickoff return team. Part of that front wall, scooped it up, Bass, and I tell you, he saved Milan a lot of field position.
He really did. I loved it, man. What an athletic play. The only thing I'd say is, hey, don't pull a sweetness, man. Tuck that ball in.
Yeah, I thought they may strip it away. Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
That could be a big play for Milan because now they get the ball near midfield and still got plenty of time to do what they do best is come off that tackle.
Now, are you on the Milan sideline?
Yeah.
Sounded great tonight, isn't he, Bass?
I think he's the best.
He is.
Man, I love y'all.
We love you, too. 1st and 10. Milan is a pitch to Jones. Makes one man miss in the backfield. Makes another miss. Makes another miss. Makes another miss. Just to get a half a yard. He broke 4 tackles. He is tough, but you're right, Bass. If he had some blocking up front, and he's staying down after that hit.
Well, but one of the other keys is, though, if you noticed on that play, Irvin McCurry's not in. When Jones is in and McCurry is not in there with him, there's only one place they're going, and the Hornets know that.
Narrator, is McCurry injured?
No, they've been just kind of alternating him. He's standing right here behind Christian Coleman, so he's ready to go.
Scott fumbles. It's on the turf. He falls on it.
The Bulldogs do recover.
Now, Coach Willis knows a lot more than I do.
He's a 30-10.
As little as I know, McCurry's in a QB for me.
But you also know what you've seen. What you've seen tonight. I mean, that's that tells the tale.
He's remarkable.
He's remarkable.
And they have virtually no offense when he's not under center. Timeouts. Milan will take the timeout with him. 6:16 left in the fourth quarter. South Gibson with a 16-8 lead on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
On July 1st, Tennessee law changed for drivers using cell phones, now facing up to a $200 fine for even holding a cell phone while driving. During July, officers were told to be lenient, even issuing only warnings. But now the warnings are over. The tickets are gonna be written. Are you street legal for Tennessee's new law? Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall has hands-free devices that can make you compliant for $25 or less. Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall between Reed's Jewelers and Victoria's Secret.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL, and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Paul Schulze pointing out the narrative sounds so good because of him. Paul said, because of me.
Shout out to Paul.
Paul Schulze's a great American. He really is.
And if you'll notice, looks like they slipped Irvin McCrary back in the lineup in that timeout.
He's back in there, quarterback. 3rd and 10. Milan at the South Gibson 48. Jones in the backfield. McCurry going to try to sweep it, and he'll go nowhere. That's
McCurry on the run for the Bulldogs.
But go back and watch the replay, Danny. I mean, how do you not know that's what it is? Because take a look at Jones. Does he even move?
No.
Why would you bother defending somebody that you know is not even going to move?
Don Narrator Jones didn't try to sell that one at all, did he?
No, and you know, Jones is a great athlete, and he's had an impact on this football game. But as he grows and matures, he's going to have to learn some lessons.
Yeah, Coach saw what we did, Bassy. He'll head to the sideline. McCurry lines up at tailback. Scott is back in there at QB. They pitch it to McCurry. He'll throw it downfield and incomplete. Well covered. They've run it 3 times tonight.
You know, D. Kelly checked up a little bit on that route, but I don't think it was going to matter because the high safety was coming over anyway.
Yeah, that was well covered.
24 seconds left in the ball game.
Cody Smith defending that one, and he was right with his man, and Milan squanders great starting field position at best. They may not get the ball back with 5:24 left in the game. That was only the second possession in the second half. Both teams have had it twice in the second half. Both of them had it 3 times in the first half. Oh, look here with some room. 40, 30, he goes, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Keith Howell, 53 yards. And the Hornets are on fire.
Boy, just an outstanding block that time by a young man who's also had a big game, Luke Gordon. He locks up that linebacker, and the rest is Heath Howe. He's got a huge hole to run through right there in that C gap and just set sail. Nobody going to catch him then.
You really got to say, South Gibson's execution level is on a different level than Milan.
For sure. And ever since that response by Milan, all that did was serve to wake the Hornets up.
Yeah, narrator, when Milan tied it at 8, Heath Howe said, no, sir. And he's got some very good blocking up front, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, and the kid's pretty fast, too.
Yes, he is.
Nobody was gaining on him.
Here's Howe. A 2-point conversion try to the air. Has his man. No, they say he was not in the end zone. I thought he may have caught it in the end zone. Reed on a reception, so the 2-point conversion tries. No, see if you think he broke the plane here where he caught it, you. No, he didn't. No, it's a good tackle there by Milan's A.J. Brown that kept him out of the end zone.
Well, the ball was a little behind him, and as he had to make the turn, he was still about a yard short. He just wasn't able to stretch.
South Gibson's coaching staff, Heath Moore, the head coach, Barry Bray and Stephen Rich assistant coaches. Stephen Rich, who is the voice of the South Gibson Hornets. Really doing a good job with that coaching staff. That's a really good coaching staff, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got it going. And, boy, how much does that help Coach Stidham on the high school?
Yeah.
I mean, it's immeasurable. He'd tell you that.
Wonder if Coach Stidham is here tonight.
I would bet he is.
I would bet so.
I bet he is, too.
Have you seen Coach Pettigrew from Milan over there, narrator?
Haven't seen him, but I'm really looking through the stands right now, sidelines.
There's a kickoff. It's a bouncing ball. Milan covers up at the 43. I wouldn't think he'd be in the stand, but he might be.
Just go over there and start hollering, Coach Pettigrew, are you here?
Coach Pendergrass.
Name is not Teddy Pendergrass.
A narrator split the difference earlier in the season, called him Pendergrass. Well, the sun went down. It's been a lovely evening. It was hot to start out, wasn't it?
Yeah, boy. Had me sweating.
McCurry back in at QB. I formation. Jones, the tailback, got two wide receivers. Under center goes McCurry. Drifts back to throw. Under pressure, fires deep down the field. It's caught at the 25, at the 20. He goes to 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Milan. Wow. One play. 57 yards. The touchdown reception. Irvin McCurry able to hit him in stride. I mean, hit him right in stride, because there was not much of a window. That was covered well. Che Lumpkin, who's another great-looking athlete, first time he's touched the ball tonight.
Second, he had the catch at the end of the half on that 40-yard pass. Made a great catch. Well, skill position-wise, the Bulldogs' future looks pretty good on the high school level.
Well, they got a lot of school players right now on the high school level. So, yeah. They'll go for two. It's 22-14, South Gibson. McCurry under center. He'll hand it off to Jones, trying to bounce outside. Jones does, and he outruns the defense to the corner of the end zone for the two-point conversion with 5:03 left. South Gibson 22 and Milan 16. Don't go anywhere. This was not over on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
We all love high school football, right, Coach? Yes, we do, Dan. And we love Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. The #1 ranked Outback Steakhouse in the entire state. It voted best steak in Jackson. And I can eat as much as an entire football team. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson has added some great new items. My new favorite is Bloomin' Fried Chicken. It's Outback's twist on fried chicken. A boneless chicken breast, hand-battered in bloomin' onion seasoning, fried to golden brown, and drizzled with Outback's spicy signature bloomin' sauce. Without Outback in Jackson, we couldn't broadcast and telecast all of these high school games.
Thanks, Coach. This is Ian Enslocko at Outback in Jackson. Jackson and West Tennessee has been great to us, and supporting high school athletics and academics is our way to give back to the people that give us so much. Good luck to all of our young men and women in this new school year and football season.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, 194 Stonebrook Place. Open weekdays at 4 and weekends at 11. Download the free Outback Steakhouse app and earn rewards.
Hey, we've even got the Super Bowl News Talk 101.5 FM.
You know, Milan's within 6, but I tell you this, they may have made Heath Howell really mad. Heath Howell has carried the ball the last 3 plays for South Gibson for 70 and 53. So what is that? 130, 123? On 3 carries.
It's a 41-yard average.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Wonder why they don't rotate him. Jones kickoff. It's a one hopper and swallowed up at midfield.
That was different looking.
Yeah. Now at that tackle, though, it's just South Gibson is so well coached, aren't they?
Yeah, and it shows up. And, you know, the way they're disciplined, you know, with the character they exhibit coming on and off the field, just the way they're attentive to the coaching staff. You know, little things like that. Those are intangibles you look at that think, well, okay, this is a pretty good football team.
Well, Bass, even that's covering up that onside kick. They didn't wait for it to come to them. They didn't let the ball play to them. They played the ball.
Yeah, big believer in that.
Well, few first downs, they can put a championship away. Here's Howell running right side. 45 is shoved out of bounds near the 40. Keith Howell will have 9. So Howell, for Heath Howell, that was a bad play. He only got 8 yards.
You know, and let me say this. Now, I know he's got 2 studs, but, I mean, I got to say, I think Coach Willis has done a great job in the amount of time that he's been here. He's going against a guy in Coach Moore who's been here and had this thing established for years and years. And, yeah, he's got those 2 horses, but it's going to take time.
I agree.
It just is.
Well, guys,
you're going to beat a team like that.
The fact that when they played in the regular season, Milan was down 35-0 at halftime, just shows some improvement.
Yeah, Edgar Willis is a fine football coach and a fine man. 2nd and 2 for the Milan 42. Howell in the shotgun. He draws Milan off sides again. And boy, I wouldn't want to face Edgar Willis over that.
Well, because I'm not going to say who it was, but that young man's done that 3 times tonight. You just can't give them. They don't need your help. Don't help them out. But then you also have to think, what is it verbally that Heath Howell's doing that has them jumping all night long? You got to give him credit for that too.
Oh yeah, the cadence. Howell does everything. He does everything well, doesn't he? He's a really type of guy that leads a football team. You know what?
It reminds me of Trace McSorley.
We got the chain crew fell asleep over there. The narrator's probably talking to him about his days in the chain crew. Distracted him.
After the penalty for the Hornets.
First and 10 after that penalty at the Milan 37. Howell goes shotgun. He'll hand this one off. Spinning out of a tackle at the 35 and then going down. McCurry made a great tackle. That's a gain of about 3, but boy, McCurry's quite an athlete, isn't he?
And Quinshaw got spun around a little bit right here. Watch this. He gets spun around, and then guess what? Bam!
2nd and 6 for the Hornets.
He's between McCurry and Jones. Jones exits the game again.
Yeah, McCurry was laying in the weeds on that one.
2nd and 7 for the Milan 34. Whistles. Stops the play.
Well, I tell you,
illegal procedure that'll cost South Gibson 5. It also stopped the clock view.
Well, and Milan caught a break. That was going to be 6 points because Heath Howell was going around the short side end again.
He'd already
that
turned
time.
the corner.
They're using the defensive end to try to set that edge against this team, and right now they have no chance of that. They're going to have to spy somebody over there. I mean, yeah, you can get beat in pass coverage. I get that on a route, slip somebody underneath. But right now, Heath Howell's killing you off the edge.
After the mark-off, it's 2nd and 12 from the Milan 39. 4:15 left, 22-16 South Gibson. Here's Howell going to run it left side. Got some blockers, got some room. 35, outside of numbers 30. Down the sideline of the 25, and scampers out of bounds at the 25. 2nd and 12, and Howell peels off 14 yards, and that was so well blocked. Look at those blockers out in front.
Yeah, no doubt. And look at that great block by Winter Crenshaw. But again, nobody there for that edge. That's just easy football.
Yeah.
And if they're going to give them that, they're going to keep using it.
Narrator,
I would.
Taking candy from a baby. Narrator.
That's exactly what he's doing right now.
Narrator, you've found the one spot where you don't pick up. He's probably a little general.
And you look like a flying squirrel.
1st and 10. Clock really be out wide for South Gibson at the Milan 25, leading by 6. Boy, just a student body up the middle. They pushed the Milan defense back for a gain of nearly 6. Here's the narrator on the sideline, Richard Barber.
Well, Hal's been taking that corner, this whole quarter in there. He just went straight up the gut. South Gibson wants his clock to run now.
Down to 3:52. Milan only has one timeout left. Two timeouts left. Got to start thinking about using them. Another first down here. That's going to be really, really tough. 2nd and 4 to Milan 19. Howell goes under center. He just straight ahead again, just pushing Milan back and near the 10-yard line. They'll go inside the 10, down to the 6, and that's going to be another first down. And that's just saying, hey guys, mano, stop us if you can.
Look, Paul, give us a rewind here and watch this push by this, not just the interior of the offense, the whole offensive line. Danny, watch this. That's about as impressive as you're ever going to see. Watch this, the whole unit. Look at this. This is amazing.
And Paul making sure he's getting worthy roads in there.
Look at this, Danny. Look at this push.
Boy, look at that.
I mean, are you kidding me?
You know,
I could get that.
A defensive lineman, if you're going to stand straight up, you're going to get pushed back, aren't you?
That's right, Jerry.
First and goal at the 7. 3 minutes left. South Gibson with a 6-point lead. And we got whistles. Offsides, Milan. Go on, narrator. Just the last 3 drives for South Gibson, they have just, Milan not even able to slow them down.
No, you know, we talk all the time about rhythm. They got in the rhythm. They found what was working, decided to stay with it, and it just worked out pretty good for them.
Yeah, it was
It has worked out good for
8-0 at halftime, South Gibson. Milan stopped him on the opening drive of the second half and tied it at 8. And then it's been the Heath Howell show, 22-16. 2:39 left. First and goal from the 3. We got whistles again. Offsides, Milan.
Yeah, I know you got to hold them out. I get that, but you just can't have that. You're gifting them these points.
2:36 remaining. I guess the best thing Milan could do is let them score. Try to score quick and try to get an onside kick. That's about all you can do. First and goal from the 2. Heath Howell under center. Howell's going to keep it. Howell's in the end zone. Standing. Touchdown, South Gibson. That's the 3rd touchdown rushing in the second half for Heath Howell. This one pales into comparison to the first 2. It was a 2-play drive after Milan tied it at 8. Howell went 70 yards in 2 plays. Then he went 53 yards in 1 play on the next drive. This time it's just been methodical, Butte.
Yeah, and by the time these kids get to Scott Stidham, you think they don't know how to run this offense?
Yep. 2-point conversion. Delay a game, I believe.
Flag on the play.
Illegal substitution on South Gibson.
Illegal substitution.
2:19 left. It's 28-16. South Gibson looking for another middle school championship. Last year it was Peabody interrupting South Gibson's championship run. But now the Hornets looking to reclaim the Gibson County title again.
They had Randy Moss on their team, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. Here's Howell rolling right. Man wide open, and he hits him for the 2-point conversion. Cody Smith, the tight end. South Gibson takes a 30-16 lead on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
If you're ever involved in an automobile accident, the last thing you need to worry about is what to do next. It's simple. Call Precision Auto Body at 783-0075, and they can handle the rest for you. With rental cars on site, they can have you back on the road with no delay. They repair all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. No need for you to run to a franchise or dealer where you're just another number. At Precision Auto Body, you're known by your name and your concerns about your vehicle. They've been in the same location between Milan and Medina for 20 years, with adding a second high-quality location in Dyersburg in 2014. They have all certified technicians and continuous education, so they can repair your vehicle to factory conditions. Remember, you own your vehicle. You own your insurance. You own the right to tell your insurance company that you want Precision Auto Body to repair your vehicle. So don't be just another number, and don't be steered in the wrong direction. Call Precision Auto Body, 783-0075.
Did you say football? High school game of the week, the SEC championship, and the NFL on Monday nights. News Talk 101.5 FM. 101.5 FM.
South Gibson's kickoff, and I don't think that went 10 yards, but I think Milan touched it first, and they recover it at the South Gibson 46. Well, narrator, it's no, that didn't go 10 yards, and I think South Gibson did touch it first, but all is well that ends well, I guess. But, hey, narrator, it's 30-16, 14-point lead for South Gibson, 2:18 left in the game. But, man, it's been an entertaining game, hasn't it?
It has, and when you look at the score, tomorrow you look at that score of somebody that wasn't here tonight and say, well, looks like South Gibson blew them out. It wasn't really a blowout kind of football game.
But, I never really felt Milan was going to win this game, did you?
No, I didn't.
McCurry back in at QB. He'll go under center. Curry drifting back to throw under heavy pressure, fires downfield. It's caught at the 35 and tackled near the 30. That's McCurry to Jones. That's going to be a gain of 16 and a quick first down.
Yeah, that's just a quick little post right here, and you left him man coverage the right slot, Jones, and you could see that before the snap where they were headed with that.
Yeah, and the coverage was there. And Jones just came back and got the ball.
Yeah, and it's just he's too big and physical. He'll win that match every time.
Clock stop, a minute 55 left. McCurry goes under center, rolling right, throwing downfield toward the end zone. It's almost intercepted or go incomplete. Jeez, he's got an arm. He threw that one into triple coverage now, and nearly intercepted.
They know they got a minute 45 left. They're trying to get something to the end zone.
I think Cody Smith would have intercepted this, but watch Jones hit him right there as he's about to bring it in.
He flicked that ball 35 yards.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Wonder how far he could set and really turn it loose. If you can flick it 35 yards, you can.
I thought about 50, 45, 50,
yeah.
And as a 13-year-old, you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Oh, Milan burns a timeout with the clock stopped. Wow. We'll take the timeout with him. Minute 45 left. 30-16. South Gibson over Milan on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Do you owe more than your car is worth? Do you need to rebuild your credit? Do you want $6,000 over KBB fair market value for your trade-in? Then Steve Marsh Ford says bring it. Bring it. Get up to $6,000 for any trade, for every trade. Come to Steve Marsh Ford, the only dealer giving you way too much money for your trade. So don't miss it. Up to $6,000 over KBB on F-150, Super Duty, Expedition, Fusion, Escape, Explorer, virtually every new car and truck on the lot.
But I owe too much.
Bring it.
But my credit.
Bring it. Your full-time job means you're virtually approved. Steve Marsh Ford is the dealer giving you up to $6,000 over KBB for any and every trade. Steve Marsh Ford, South 1st Street in Milan. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marsh Ford, they can't save you money.
Second and 10, Milan at the South Gibson 30. There's a double reverse. Jones they got him in the backfield. They dump him back at the 42. That's a loss of 12, and that's coming out of a timeout that you called with the clock stopped. Boy. Okay, South Gibson coaches won that battle coming out of the timeout. Because you want to come out of that. If you call a timeout, you only have 2 left, and you're down by 2 scores with less than 2 minutes.
And that's not where
really
Jones is as effective as in a reverse situation.
You really need to win that play.
Right.
Got a minute left. 3rd and 20 at the South Gibson 42. McCurry drifts back to throw. He'll launch it deep down the sideline. It is dropped at the 15. That was a great effort by Tay Lumpkin. Probably should have had it, but he's an 8th grader and nearly made a great catch coming back to the ball.
I need to see this again. I think he may have mistimed his jump a little bit. We'll see. No. High pointed it, just couldn't hold on to it.
I tell you, that's give Kevin Gonzalez credit because he bothered him with the cover.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
40 fans come out Friday night for the high school varsity football game.
Milan burns their last 2 timeouts with the clock stopped. Now this one's more understandable, narrator, because you got 1 play and you face it a 4th down and 20. It won't matter if you have a timeout unless you convert here, right?
No, you don't convert here, the ball game's over. So.
50 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Been a fun game. It was 8-0. South Gibson at the half. Milan tied it at 8. South Gibson pushed ahead at 22-6 or 22-8. Milan got within 6 at 22-16. But South Gibson with a methodical drive, their last possession, and then the 2-point conversion basket iced this one away.
I think that's probably right.
4th and 20 for Milan from the South Gibson 42. McCurry under center. He's just going to run it. And he's tripped up at the 36. And South Gibson got to be the 2019 Gibson County Middle School football champion. They've been on top of that mountain before. Mickey Marley and Trenton Middle interrupted it last year. They went unbeaten. But they're right back on top again this year, Hugh.
Yeah, and that follows straight uphill, if you will. I mean, there's a reason that South Gibson and Trenton are the 2 best teams on the high school level now in this county.
It's a shame they don't meet the regular season, isn't it, narrator?
Yeah, it is. It'd be a fun game to watch. I want to tell you what Coach Willis just turned around and told his sideline. He said, look, guys, we're going to lose this game, but get your head up. We're going to go out there and congratulate them, and we're going to act right.
Like that.
Edgar Willis, the head coach in his first year in Milan. Middle school head coach. Spent a lot of time with Mickey Marley at USJ. Led that middle school program at USJ. Look at him shaking the official's hand. He's a class act, isn't he?
Yep.
Edgar Willis. And that's going to do it. Victory formation. And the Hornets are the champions once again. Final score, South Gibson 30 and Milan 16. We're back in 4 minutes to tie this one off on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
On July 1st, Tennessee law changed for drivers using cell phones, now facing up to a $200 fine for even holding a cell phone while driving. During July, officers were told to be lenient, even issuing only warnings. But now the warnings are over. The tickets are gonna be written. Are you street legal for Tennessee's new law? Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall has hands-free devices that can make you compliant for $25 or less. Wireless Dimensions in Old Hickory Mall between Reed's Jewelers and Victoria's Secret.
Do you owe more than your car is worth? Do you need to rebuild your credit? Do you want $6,000 over KBB fair market value for your trade-in? Then Steve Marsh Ford says bring it. Bring it. Get up to $6,000 for any trade, for every trade. Come to Steve Marsh Ford, the only dealer giving you way too much money for your trade. So don't miss it. Up to $6,000 over KBB on F-150, Super Duty, Expedition, Fusion, Escape, Explorer, virtually every new car and truck on the lot.
But I owe too much.
Bring it.
But my credit.
Bring it. Your full-time job means you're virtually approved. Steve Marsh Ford is the dealer giving you up to $6,000 over KBB for any and every trade. Steve Marsh Ford, South 1st Street in Milan. Remember, if you don't get to Steve Marsh Ford, they can't save you money.
We all love high school football, right, Coach? Yes, we do, Dan. And we love Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. The #1 ranked Outback Steakhouse in the entire state. It voted best steak in Jackson. And I can eat as much as an entire football team.
Hey, bring us back into the spot, please.
My new favorite is Bloomin' Fried Chicken. It's Outback's twist on fried chicken. A boneless chicken breast, hand-battered in bloomin' onion seasoning, fried to golden brown, and drizzled with Outback's spicy signature bloomin' sauce.
Without Outback in Jackson, we couldn't broadcast and telecast all of these high school games.
Thanks, Coach. This is Ian Insalako at Outback in Jackson. Jackson and West Tennessee has been great to us, and supporting high school athletics and academics is our way to give back to the people that give us so much. Good luck to all of our young men and women in this new school year and football season.
Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, 194 Stonebrook Place. Open weekdays at 4 and weekends at 11. Download the free Outback Steakhouse app and earn rewards.
First in news, sports, and weather. Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM.
South Gibson, once again, the champions of Gibson County when it comes to high school football and middle school. And Heath Moore is the head coach, and he's standing by with Richard, the narrator. Barber, here's the narrator.
Thanks, guys. Down here on the field with Coach Moore. Coach Moore, we spoke briefly going into half, and we talked about the offense was having a hard time getting some rhythm. I don't know what happened at halftime, but she found plenty of rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, they found their linebackers inside every play, so we decided to get some plays where we just ran outside and had a quick snap to Heath Howe, and he took it outside, and we had 3 guys in front of him blocking, and it worked really well.
You know, Heath Howe, excellent football player, and he had 3 straight plays where he picked up like 150 yards, but you noted all the blocking that was there. Just a team effort and able to get those points on the board.
Yes, sir. It was big for us. Milan came out ready to play. We handled them pretty easy earlier in the season, a couple weeks ago, actually. So hats off to Milan for having their kids ready to play, because it's a total different team than we played last time. But our boys sucked it up after halftime and did a really good job.
Defensively, just played lights out all night, but especially in the first half when you were having a hard time getting going, your defense put some points on the board for you till your offense could catch up.
That's correct. Yes, our defense definitely won the football game tonight, and we were good. Only problem we had was tackling a little bit. We talked about that at halftime. Thought we did a little better job of tackling after halftime.
Talk about what it means to you and your coaching staff and these kids to win a middle school championship.
It's tradition here in Medina, man. It's South Gibson County football. It's tradition to win, and that's what I tell our boys every year. Hey, we go out and we expect to win, and when you got that mentality, it's big. And so every year our kids expect to be here, and they expect to be competing for the win.
Coach, we can call them champion. We can call you champion. Congratulations on a great year.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here covering for us.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Heath Howe, boys in class, had an acting debut. He said, hey, man, the linebackers were blitzing they were shooting them right up the double bunts up the gutters. The legendary, the late, great Bill Haley used to say it. He said, fine, hey, we'll take it outside. It's Coach Willis you see on this great shot here, but Johnny Jones, Paul Schulze talking with his Milan team. South Gibson, champions again, middle school. The Gibson County. They're on top. They're top of the mountain for the South Gibson Middle School Hornets. Tell you, this wouldn't happen without Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, the #1 ranked Outback in the state of Tennessee. Thanks to Ian and Solango and Company. Also, the best steak in Jackson, according to the Reader's Choice Awards. Outback Steakhouse going to be open October the 14th, with that special for lunch to raise some money from 11 to 2 for the UTM Aero engineering class.
Like you heard Ian today, man, that's want to get involved in the community.
He does.
You know, and it's not lip service. He means every bit of it. It's one of Ian's a big dude. You know, he's a built dude. You know, but he's a gentle guy.
Oh, he is.
And he just wants to help people all the time. I love that guy.
Yeah.
If we could all wake up in the morning with the spirit that dude has,
man, I agree.
And the attitude that guy has, we'd have a lot better world.
Hard-working man, Ian Insulaco. Precision Auto Body, your professional in auto body repair right here in Medina on the Milan Highway. The absolute best. Mark Hardy and Company. These locally owned businesses, man, they just give back to the community. You know what? Steve Marsh Ford is another great example. 29 years in Milan, serving Medina and all of Gibson County. Steve Marsh Ford, right there in Milan. And also, Wireless Dimensions, the WD. You get all the cell phone gear and laptop that you need there at Wireless Dimensions in the Old Hickory Mall. My iPhone cover comes from there, and Bass's Android comes from the WD as well. In the Old Hickory Mall, right across from Victoria's Secret, and that ain't a bad place to be. Edgar Willis, the Milan head coach, an old friend, is standing by with Richard, the narrator Barber. Here's the narrator.
Thanks, guys. Down here with Coach Willis. Coach Willis, probably not the end result you were looking for, but your kids played hard. Just a tough football game. And I want to tell you before we get started, Coach Moore gave you and your team an excellent compliment when he said, well, you know, we played them a couple of weeks ago and handled them pretty good. They're a much better football team today.
Yes, sir. We're very proud of the fact that we were able to work hard, and the kids sold out, and they bought into what we were trying to get them to understand. But listen, last time we just did like effort. We didn't give the effort that needed to be in order to be in the football game. But our kids, they actually realized that themselves, so they committed the last 10 days to working hard, to getting better, so we could actually be a good ball game that people enjoyed watching tonight, and I think we were able to do that. We didn't get the results we want, but we tell our kids, if they learn how to work hard, winning, it will take care of itself. So it's just kind of like a step. We don't want to just, rack up wins, but our kids aren't learning how to play hard. We want to learn how to play hard, learn how to fight, learn how to deal with adversity, and then everything else goes from there. So, yes, sir.
Well, they certainly played hard tonight. Defensively, you know, your defense kept you in the game until your offense could catch up there in the second half where you swapped some scores there.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going to tell you, but I credit our defense for playing so well man, I'm going to tell you, I have two unbelievable assistants, Coach Christian and Coach Matt. Listen, them dudes stayed up all night long designing a defense so we could play tonight. And listen, and that's what it really is all about. It's about guys selling out from day one since I got there and believing what I was doing and enjoying it and having fun. And the kids sold out. We started out with 23, now we're 51. So the kids are selling out. Everybody's kind of like selling out to kind of like what I'm selling. So we're going in the right direction. Things going to be good. Yes, sir.
Well, and I know this was a tough one to take, but when you look at the season, it's a successful season. You're building that foundation for the Bulldogs 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
Oh, yes, sir. And I told them when I first got there, listen, the goal was first time not to worry about wins. We were changing the culture. And the culture is our kids like learning literally what serious work was, learning how to work hard every day, learning to come to work with a lunch pail, willing to work and willing to consistently work. Some people, they want to work for a day and then the next day is off. No, it's every day we got to come with a habit of where we work because, listen, our goal is, and I told them, we're chasing our cores, but that chase can't start happening when we're sophomores and juniors in high school. It has to start right now or we're never going to catch the Alcores. So that's kind of like our aiming point. That's what we want to develop, the kind of program they have where we're in state title games year in and year out because tradition is something great, but listen, tradition takes a lot of work. So we're just going to put the work in to master tradition so Milan football, number one, at this level and at a high school level can continue to be successful. Yes, sir.
Coach, I'll let you get with your kids as they're naming the All-Star tournament or game team, whatever it is they're going to call it tonight. But congratulations on a great year. Look forward to seeing these dogs further on.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for all y'all do. Appreciate it.
The narrator with his best George W. Bush impression, who said it's the state of my speech to the nation or whatever you want to call it.
I wasn't sure what they're calling this team here.
Well, it's great to talk with Edgar Willis, the narrator.
He's a great guy.
He is a fantastic individual. He's the father of Caleb Willis, a fine running back for USJ. I will disagree with one thing.
Here we go.
I like him setting the
what's
bar
coming.
high, but I'd forget about Alcoa and be worried about South Gibson and Covington's of the world.
I knew that was coming.
Well, that's going to do it for us. Here is South Gibson wins it. And again, our thanks to Outback Steakhouse in Jackson, Precision Auto Body here in Medina, Steve Marsh Ford in Milan, and Wireless Dimensions. Save big with Wireless Dimensions in the Old Hickory Mall. Everything you need to protect your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, all right there. That's Wireless Dimensions in the Old Hickory Mall. That's going to do it for us tonight. I had a great time here. Paul Schulze, along with Johnny Johnson, Worthy Road Studios, the absolute best in the business. Seabass, he's the absolute best because color commentary. Had a great time, view. And nobody circles the sideline wagons like Rich, the narrator barber. Cameron Greer, the all-star producer and director, making it happen. Our thanks to Michael Osborne and Drew Magruder back at the Wireless Group World Headquarters. And that'll do it for us tonight. Congratulations, South Gibson. Gibson County Middle School champions once again this year. Tune in the morning, 6 a.m. Daybreak with Keith and Greg. And me and Bass, 6 to 8 with a 180. Midday Smack, 11 to 1. And the afternoon drive with Keith Shirley, 3 to 6. After Clark Howard, who's on 1 to 3. And Seabass, Coach Joe tomorrow evening from 6 to 8 on News Talk 101.5. Thanks again for listening and watching at WNWS.com. You can watch the game, the replay, and it's in, I almost said eternity, in its entirety at WNWS.com. Good night from South Gibson.